We spent the last video talking about last year's first overall pick, Juraj Slafkovsky, and breaking down his situation, whether or not fans are starting to worry about this guy. And so we are going to run it back a little bit further and talk about yet another first overall pick that has garnered a lot more worry from fans of the New York Rangers. Let's talk today about the first overall pick back from the 2020 NHL Entry Draft, Alexis Lafreniere. And talk about some of the updates that the new head coach of the Rangers, Peter Laviolette, gave us a few days ago. This is ultimately going to be a conversation about making it or breaking it, trading, selling low, and playing in the top six. Because when it comes to what Laviolette had to say, when it comes to what Elliotte Friedman also said, we have ourselves an idea as to where Lafreniere could go heading into 2023-2024. Starting out with the contract. Now, I'm going to be real, it's July 6th, it's Thursday as I record this audio, and the video will probably be uploaded sometime on Saturday. Which means that if Lafreniere re-signed with the Rangers, which is most likely going to be the case on some sort of a bridge deal, then I don't have the number in front of me. I apologize. I'm going on a trip, so I have to pre-record videos for this weekend. But ultimately, every sign is pointing towards Lafreniere getting some sort of a short-term bridge deal, which means it's probably going to be under 4 years long. It's probably not going to be too expensive. Maybe $2.5, $3 million max if you wanted to push it. But either way, Lafreniere is in a territory where, as a player who has gotten a career high last year of 39 points in 81 games played, he has slowly been improving, and it has been just that, slow. It's been a slow burn for Laf ever since he had made his debut with the Rangers in 2020-2021, but the Lafreniere we saw last season is different than the Lafreniere who had suited up for the Rangers to kick off his NHL career. He's a little bit more poised, a little bit more refined in his offensive vision, and there is potential here to see more depending on what the Rangers decide to do. Here's a quote from Elliotte Friedman going over what the plan appears to be. If you're trading Alexis Lafreniere right now, it's really at a low value, so it's better to try and fix the problem, and that's what they're going for with Laviolette, and that's why they're going for Pekka, whom they hope is a very big part of this. And so Friedman lays it out on the line, you're not going to trade Lafreniere. He's first overall, his value is significantly decreased from what it was a few years ago. If you trade him now, you're selling low, and that's ultimately not what the Rangers would prefer to do. Laviolette has a job here, and it's not even just Alexis Lafreniere, it's also Kaapo Kakko, who's going to be at the forefront of this. Here's an article written on thescore.com by Kayla Douglas from earlier 2 weeks ago, talking about what Peter Laviolette said will be given to Lafreniere and Kakko. Opportunities to be counted on more. There was a press conference where Laviolette was brought in and he talked about these two young guys. Those young players do need an opportunity to grow, he said during his introductory press conference on Tuesday. They have to be given the opportunity to be counted on more. They want to feel valued with what they do. You certainly would like to see them take the next step. More minutes, maybe a little higher up in the lineup, maybe more power play time. With that, there has to be opportunity. These conversations will take place. I certainly would like that, and those opportunities will be there for them to grab that ice time and to push. Essentially, what Laviolette is saying is that the door is open for these guys to be given that spotlight. More opportunities, more top 6 minutes, more power play time, which, if you're talking about it from a developmental point of view, is almost exactly what these guys need. Young NHL players that come into the league as 18, 19-year-old guys will normally, and I say normally because you have the exceptions like the Matthewses, the McDavids, and the Laines, they'll normally start off pretty slowly. And they do need to be given that opportunity to work their way up in the lineup, and as they prove themselves while playing lower level minutes, that's when they need to progress, that's when they need to be given more chances, and Laviolette is going out there and saying that the ball is in their court ultimately. It's up to them to prove that they belong. And I had seen a few people memeing about this too. This is a tweet from Hockey Stat Miner. When the salary cap forces Lafreniere to play second line right wing and Laviolette gets credit for believing in him, and then there's the Homelander gif from the boys. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen here, whether or not the Rangers are going to be forced to putting some of these guys in higher level positions in the lineup, but ultimately, Time is running out, and that's the main idea I wanted to convey in this video. How Elliotte Friedman said it best, you can't trade this guy now. His value is a lot lower than it was a few years ago when he was a prospect, drafted first overall, even after the first year where it was like, okay, it was the bubble year. Everybody was kind of locked in their own divisions and there was a lot of travel restrictions and whatnot, so you could give Lafreniere the pass, right? He's still got potential, right? But because he has not had that absolute pinnacle breakout year like Jack Hughes had a few seasons ago, there still is that benefit of the doubt. There still is that lingering discomfort that happens when you think about Alexis Lafreniere and the draft value that he provides. First overall pick to what he is today. Is that a first overall caliber player? Probably not, but we know the talent is there. This is going to be make or break for Lafreniere over the next little while here, because he's probably going to be signed to a bridge deal, which means that the contract is probably going to be pretty cheap. So if he doesn't go out there and perform, let's say he does not take advantage of the Lafayette minutes that are going to be available to him should he actually step up to the task, then the Rangers are going to have an opportunity to trade him away because he's not going to be too expensive, he's not going to cost too much for any other team to acquire him. And then what? You lost out on the opportunity to draft a guy like Tim Stützle with your first overall pick in 2020. Now, I'm not going to go out there and say that Lafreniere was the wrong pick in hindsight. That's a completely different argument there. I think based off of what everybody was thinking about back in 2019-20, Lafreniere was going to be first. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just a question as to whether or not the Rangers have what it takes to properly develop this guy. We had seen this ever since 2017 with Lias Andersson. 2018, you had Vitaly Kravtsov. 2019... Kaapo Kakko, 2020, Lafreniere. So it's been a pretty bad pattern of guys developing as first-round top picks under the Rangers organization. Sure, you had Philip Cheadle in there, but let's not talk about him because he was the second first-round pick the Rangers had in that draft. So either way, time is running out here for Lafreniere, because even though he did improve from 2022 to 2023, it was only by a little amount, and he had stopped scoring for the team in the postseason as well. The kid line wasn't doing their magic like they had when the Rangers went to the third round last year. So all of a sudden, we just gotta go out there and hope that Alexis Lafreniere, Kaapo Kakko, they thrive under Laviolette's system. They're actually able to take advantage of whatever opportunities are there with the minutes, the ice time, power play time. It's gonna be difficult to compete when you've got Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, all these other guys on top of you in the lineup. Whether or not Tarasenko comes back, who really knows? That's probably not gonna happen, but when it comes to Alexis Lafreniere, the other first overall pick that we have been sort of worried about, as of with Juraj Slafkovsky, because we made the video about him 2 hours ago, I want you to let me know in the comment section below, what are your opinions about the way Lafreniere has developed from last year to this year? What are your thoughts on him going forward into the next season's worth of play? What are your thoughts about his timeline? If he is not able to go out there and have that Jack Hughes breakout season just yet, how much longer of a leash do you think Lafreniere is going to have with this fan base, with the team itself, and with his reputation around the NHL? Not fans of the Rangers, but fans of everybody else, because everybody else is already kind of looking at him and saying, yeah, that guy's not the first overall pick that we thought he was going to be, and we don't know if he's ever going to become that. I'm personally more inclined to believe in the positive side because I've been very positive about prospects ever since I started making YouTube videos. I want to see guys that have talent do well. It's just, when it comes to Lafreniere, the growth has been there, but it's been so slow that you kind of have to wonder, does that ceiling still exist within his frame? This season will tell. Time is running out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Alexis Lafreniere. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.